people are downsizing. In general, there is a big trend toward downsizing. And what does that mean? When you downsize, you got to get rid of stuff. You are listening to the Decluttering Club podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Mueller, and it's my mission to equip women to declutter their homes, their time, and their lives so that they can cherish what truly matters. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Decluttering Club podcast number 18. Today, we're going to talk about something a little bit different. We are going to talk about declutter coach training. So again, this is a little bit of a different topic, and this isn't going to apply to everyone, but if this is something that you have heard about or you thought about, I encourage you to keep listening. I see a huge need for decluttering coaches in our world today. It is tremendous. And maybe you haven't thought about it, but this is what I see going on. First of all, I see in general that the things in our homes, the things in general in our homes in society, they are piling up, right? I mean, this makes sense, right? We all know this. The level of clutter in our homes is rising. And this is for a number of different reasons, right? First of all, it's just that we're getting older, right? Our population is aging. So as we get older, there is more stuff around, especially if we haven't learned to deal with it, right? Or if we just haven't made the time to deal with it. So there are more things in our homes in general. The second cause is that we are inheriting things, right? So maybe you have lost some loved ones, you've lost parents or grandparents, and now you have their things in your home as well. So not only do you have your things to deal with, but you have, your parents' things or your grandparents' things. Another thing that has been happening over the past 10 to 20 years is that online shopping has gotten so easy. Are you with me on this one? I mean, I think Amazon shows up to my house at probably every single day. There might be the odd day that it doesn't come, but in general, it is so easy to point and click and shop. And this is a beautiful thing because now I don't have to spend time going to the store and I can get exactly what I need. However, there's also a trend towards the extremes, right? So it's really easy to shop, so we do more of it. I probably do bring home more things than I used to back in the day, right? And so this is a general trend in society. People are doing more shopping, and some of us are doing extreme shopping, and that results in more clutter. The next reason is that with the economy where it is, there are people that are holding on to things longer, right? And this is almost without regard to their household budget. Maybe if people are in lower income levels, they may be holding on to things, but also people in higher income brackets are holding on to things longer because, they're like, I'm not sure, I don't really want to waste money. Well, that's all well and good, but as you and I both know, this frequently results in us saving things that we don't have a use for. And then we have that conundrum of I paid good money for it, but I really don't need it. And now it's taking up room and it's in my way. Right. So just the general trend of the economy has people holding on to things longer, and then they have a problem and they don't know what to do about it. They don't know how to deal with it. Another thing that I see happening is that people are acknowledging the need for support as they do the hard work of decluttering. There is a tendency to realize that this isn't just about the stuff, right? And there's a huge awakening in terms of mental health and, of the psychological aspects of some of these kinds of things, which is amazing and beautiful. And what that means is that we're going to have then an increased demand for people who can help meet that need. It is not just, you can't go to your neighbor, you probably can't go to your best friend and then expect that they're going to be able to expertly guide you through the process of decluttering. So there's a need for professionals that can walk people through, this very emotional, very challenging task. Another thing, and I did a little research, another trend in society is that people are downsizing. In general, there is a big trend toward downsizing. I read a statistic that was produced by the National Association of Realtors, and they said in 2020, 28% of all real estate transactions were classified as downsizing. 28%. That is almost a third of all home sales are people downsizing. And what does that mean? When you downsize, you got to get rid of stuff. And sometimes you have to get rid of a lot of stuff. Maybe it's half of your stuff. So there's a huge need there. People are just moving into smaller places. And then to top it all off, the pandemic accelerated everything. Everybody thought, oh, we're going to have all this time on our hands, right? That's what happened in 2020. We're going to have all this time on our hands and we're going to get things cleaned up. And as you know, that did not happen. In general, as a rule, it didn't happen. But what did happen was people realized, oh, I don't like the state of my home. I want to do something about it, but what do I do? Right. And we did see a huge increase in our business because of this during the pandemic. But in general, there's just an increased demand for all kinds of people to help and support people through this process. Okay. So the demand, I feel, is really ready to explode. Right. People understand that you can't keep everything forever, right? That there is a need to declutter. But again, there's all of these emotional components and the overwhelm and the mental health aspect, which prevents people from making progress. So I do see over the next, 5 to 10 years, I see a tremendous increase in people reaching out and, hiring decluttering coaches for this very purpose. Okay, so huge demand. Like I said, we are getting ready to reopen our coach training program, right? We have trained a number of coaches already, and they're already involved in our business and they're building businesses of their own. And it's been absolutely amazing. And we're ready to run a new group of people through this program. What kinds of opportunities would you have as a decluttering coach? I want to talk a little bit about this because a lot of times people don't really have an idea. They're like, how does that work? Like, are you going to hire me? Or, what could I expect? Here are some of the things that you might be able to do as a declutter coach. First of all, you could work with our team, right? We do have coaches on staff. We have people running calls. We have people running trainings. And that is a wonderful, beautiful opportunity. And we love our coaches. We really do. So that is one possibility. Second possibility is that you work with clients directly one-on-one on Zoom, right? You start your own business, you work with people. And the beauty of that is that you can work with anyone anywhere in the world, and all they need to do is come onto Zoom and meet up with you. Sometimes it's hard to imagine how would you be able to help someone if you're not right there next to them in their home. Well, actually, a lot of people prefer working with a professional virtually. They don't have to open their doors to a stranger, right? They can control the level of privacy that they enjoy, and so they can get help, but they don't have to open the door. And that is a really big deal for a lot of people who really struggle with clutter. So that one-on-one option over Zoom is an amazing opportunity. And as I said, it lets you work with people anywhere in the world. So you're not limited to your local area or wherever you'll be able to drive. I love that option. Another option that you would have as a declutter coach is you'd be able to work with people in person, right? You absolutely could. And that is a wonderful way to help people and to build a business. Maybe you go to their home, you help them prepare for a move, or maybe you train them in one of the systems that we're going to train you in. Maybe they need help in their home office, or they want their craft room organized and decluttered. Well, if that's something that you want to offer, you can make arrangements and then go in and walk them through that process. And a lot of people do want that one-on-one in-person help, right? They don't just need, to talk through their issues. They really want someone right there next to them, picking up their things and helping them make decisions and figuring out where things go. So that's an amazing way to work with clients. And then the last option that you would have is that you could work with groups of people and you could build a business like mine. Right? You could build an online business that works with people in lots of different ways. So there's tons of ways that this could work out for you. I just want to show you that it is possible and that there's lots and lots of options. Whether you want to keep it super low key, maybe you just want to pick up a couple extra bucks on the side. It's a side hustle, something that you do in your spare time. Or maybe you want to go big and you want to build a great big business and you want to serve lots and lots of people and everything in between. We are getting ready to offer and to open the doors to our coach training program again. Right? This program has actually been closed for the last 2 years. We've been really hands-on with our coaches and with our members, and now we're ready to open that up again. The whole curriculum is going to be refreshed and revamped and ready, with new techniques and strategies and methodologies that we have been using with our members inside of our membership. And we're going to give all of that to you as part of the coach training program. You're going to get all the tools that we use to help our members declutter and maintain their homes. And in addition, we're going to give you the tools that you need to help you start building a business and then help you support it. Okay? Again, if that's something that you're interested in. I do believe that this is an area that we're going to see tremendous growth over the next several years. And so this is really an amazing time to be getting into this field. Again, probably 10 years ago, the profession of declutter coach, that wasn't a thing, right? People didn't necessarily do that. But now it is, and it's only going to grow in popularity. Now, a decluttering coach is different from a professional organizer. Very, very different, actually. An organizer, and you might have both skills or you might just have one, but I really want you to be aware of why this is not just the job of being a professional organizer. An organizer will come in typically, and then they will take stock of the environment of the space, and then they will figure out where do things need to go, right? And then they will put things away, and they'll put a system in place, and that's all well and good. However, what we have discovered in working with clients is that we can't just do the work for them. We need to walk them through and help them learn the decision-making process. We need to help them learn the maintenance. We need to show them how to maintain the work that you're going to do. And so if we just go and organize things for them, then especially the people that we tend to work with, if we only do that, then in a few weeks, maybe a couple months later, they are right back to where they started, but they're a little bit poor or a lot poorer, and they're probably more frustrated because they thought this was going to solve their problems, but they never really learned the decision making and the maintenance, and so it really didn't solve their problems. And then they're actually further behind. So there is a really significant difference between being a decluttering coach and a professional organizer, and it's important to know that distinction. Okay, I believe that declutter coaching is something that, a tremendous number of people are going to need, probably well beyond the type of person and the number of people who might need a professional organizer, right? It's okay to be organized. That's something that you can definitely learn. But decluttering is a much more emotional, much more overwhelming task, we find. And so I believe that the declutter coach skill set in particular is going to be more in demand even than a professional organizer would be. All right. So again, we're getting ready to open the doors to the coach training program. If you're interested in hearing more about this, we invite you to add yourself to the wait list on our website. All right. You can go to thedeclutteringclub.com/coach waitlist. That's all one word, coach waitlist, and the link will be with the show notes as well. You can add yourself to the waitlist, and we will let you know as soon as the doors open, and we're going to have some goodies along the way as well. Love to have you join us inside the Declutter Coach program. If you have any questions, please do feel free to reach out, and we'll see you again soon. That's all we have for you today. If you enjoyed this podcast, would you leave us a review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast? It would really help us get the word out. To start your decluttering journey, go to thedeclutteringclub.com/start. That's declutteringclub.com/start.